Alright, guys. What I wanted to talk about today is hating the feeling of caring more than they care. Right? I think one of the worst feelings is wanting someone you can't have. Not someone you used to have, not someone you've actively had, but someone who exists in this like weird middle ground in your life. Close enough to see and understand, but too far to really reach and hold on to them. Right? Because when you feel like this, whenever you feel like this, there's no clean conclusion. There's no clean ending. It just fades. One way or another, this relationship dynamic just can't keep going on like this. And it's not even something you can talk about from the outside, because from the outside nothing's happening. You guys aren't even dating, and you know each other. At the same time, you also don't know each other, and yet every small thing is magnified. Even the smallest things, like when you can't fully have something, I think you start living off those small moments. Whether those small moments are when they gave you attention, when they said the smallest thing, let's say a nice thing to you to encourage you. When they were having fun, when you could see they were having fun interacting with you and it made you happy. It stays with you. It stays with you. You just can't let things go. You let it replay over and over in your head. If it was something good, you think about it when you want to focus on something positive. If it's something bad, you just go back to every text, everything you did, everything you said. You go back to it and you try to overanalyze and see if you did something wrong. Was it you? Was it them? When you care about someone like that, you start to attach deep meaning to nothing. Insignificant little things on the outside that mean so much to you, but really it's nothing. Like nothing happened. And it sounds great caring that much, but it's exhausting. Like every notification you receive on your phone had a chance to be them, and it drains you. And it's not something you realize in the moment, but it slowly sort of builds up over time until it becomes this balloon with all this energy that you don't know where to direct it. You don't know where it goes. You don't know what to do about it. And it's like, how do you even explain this to people? There's no heartbreak. I mean, you guys were never together. And you think about them way more than they do. But you can't help it. There's no clarity. It's just feelings and thoughts. They don't have a clear exit to go. Things just panned out this way, right? And it's this feeling of limbo where it's just in between land, and it's sort of, there's just always just this element of uncertainty present. Whether it's the relationship existing purely from an online space and you've never met them before, or when the energy and communication just isn't the same in both parties. You feel it more than what is normally observable, right? A lot of things, uncertainty just keeps feeding the fire, right? And it becomes sort of addictive. You sort of get hooked to it. You get hooked to the good parts, you get hooked to the bad parts, and it keeps you stuck. And you start to think about the what ifs, right? You start almost kind of daydreaming. They start making you feel attached to things that probably never go anywhere. I don't even say they never asked for it. You just can't help yourself. It's like in your heart, that they don't talk to you in their head the same way you do to them. And it's not something you can talk about to them either, because you just risk pushing them away even more, right? You care more than they do. And it isn't that they don't care, right? If it was just as simple as they didn't care, right? You would just let it go. I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, that would be psychopathic, right? But it's that maybe they do care, right? That's the worst part. You know they care, but also you know it isn't as much as you care. And you know, it sucks. You desperately want them to almost match you subconsciously, but I mean, it's not fair, right? They don't owe you anything, right? Nobody has to match you. Nobody has to care, but it's a subconscious want, and you just can't help it. And it would be so easy if they didn't care. If there was never any flashes of hope, it would just be so easy. You can't. A fire can't exist without air, without something feeding it, without something feeding the fuel. It just can't exist. It will die off. But it's that uncertainty, like I said. It's that uncertainty. It lures you in and keeps you there. It fucking keeps you there. All while kicking your fucking ass the whole time. And asks you like, hey, what the fuck are you gonna do about it, bitch? And it's just this push and pull. There's no clear solution. And it's just messy. It's just feelings. And it's pathetic talking about it. It sucks. And looking from an outside perspective, it must be so bizarre. Right. But you just replay conversations and moments over and over in your head. You can't get them out of your mind sometimes. And it isn't even the big things. There's nothing drastic that happens, right? A lot of times it's the subtle things, the quiet things that add up over time. For example, maybe it's always you reaching out first to them. And not even in like some kind of dramatic save me way. But sort of just like in a normal way. Like you just want them to reach out to you first. And sometimes maybe that does happen once in a while. And that's the even more dangerous part, is that it does happen once in a while. And so you hyperfixate on those good moments, on those glimmers of hope, those glimmers of sparks that you once experienced early on in a relationship. And every small thing, every tiny, small, minute, meaningless thing just gets overanalyzed. And you just overthink and overthink and overthink and overthink and overthink until you can't focus even on doing the things that you're normally good at, the things you normally enjoy. You just can't focus. You can't, and you don't know what to do about it. You just can't help it. And maybe it's me, right? Maybe I am the problem. I am probably the problem, right? And maybe I'm the problem, right? I'm constantly looking for signs, trying to interpret the meaning of everything, and it makes me question. I'm like, where do I even stand in their life? Where did I stand? Do I even have a standing? Right? It's pathetic. It's embarrassing. Letting someone you don't even know, in a way, have so much power and impact over you. Like how they feel impacts how you feel. And it sounds good. It sounds like and that's another thing. I don't even understand what love is, but that's a whole nother thing, right? It sounds good until it isn't. Until it's like a one-sided thing. Until it isn't reciprocated. Right? And it doesn't apply the other way too. That's the part that sucks, is that it doesn't apply the other way too. They don't think about it like that. But maybe it does. Maybe it does for them. Maybe it did, but maybe it also didn't. Right? It probably didn't. But you just don't know. You'll just never know. And it makes me feel like I'm worthless. I should just stop interacting with all people, full stop. It just nothing ever. It just doesn't go right. It's like the harder I try, the harder I fall and fail, and then it's hard. Right? You just become you become more aware over time and latched on to like who's giving more energy and who's giving more effort. And it's hard. You can't help it. It's you just can't not care. And somehow, you know, one way or another, things turn out like this. And it's just hard, right? Like, why am I giving this person so much space in my mind when I barely take up space in theirs, right? It's just unfair. And it certainly doesn't help if you're in a particularly, let's say, aimless portion of your life, you know, because lack of purpose and passion towards something, if you don't have that kind of purpose and drive towards something, inevitably that energy is going to be shifted towards someone, which sounds great, but it isn't great, because that's like limerence, and when that starts to happen, it's a dangerous game to play. And maybe it's because, among many other things, I received so little attention and care as a child that I latch onto it so fast whenever I receive any. It's like a fucking, like Pavlov's dog. When they fucking ring that bell, ding, 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 ding. It's like when they give me a little bit of attention or care about me a little bit, I latch on so quick. It's just somewhere between acceptance and hope. You know, just feel trapped. And, you know, was it an idea I was attached to? Was it the person? I think for a lot of people, it's the idea that's tantalizing. Me, I don't know. And it's not like they asked you to do any of this for them, right? It's not like they asked you to feel like this. They never intended for it. Like, it almost feels like manipulation, but it's not, right? You can't blame them for having your emotions all around theirs. Like, you feeling like that, like they never asked for it. But it's this constant emotional in-between. It's just this push and pull, this roller coaster, right? And maybe that's the most painful part of it. It's not even just love, not even in a romantic way. You just want them to reciprocate in the same way that you would for them. Like, you know you would for them, but a lot of times you just can't say the quiet part out loud, because if it was forced, it wouldn't be the same. So you desperately try to communicate yourself fully, subconsciously, hoping they'll do the same to you. And maybe they do. Maybe they do for some times, but it just doesn't feel the same after a while, and you start to wonder, is it you? But you have to stop, because maybe once you stop romanticizing about it all, what you're left with is just a cold hard truth. Maybe it's just in your mind while they're just living their own normal life.